In the vast emptiness of space, stretched between the twinkling stars and the swirling galaxies, the Galactic Empire had reigned supreme for millennia. Comprising thousands of diverse species, the Empire was a testament to the power of unity in diversity. Governed by the Great Council located on the central planet of Orleans, peace had been the cornerstone of their dominion until the humans came into the picture. The humans, a relatively young species from the planet Earth, were newcomers in the galactic community. Their planet was nestled in a lesser-known solar system, and their presence had been largely overlooked by the Galactic Empire until recent events forced them onto the cosmic stage. It was during the routine expansion of the Empire's boundary that the first contact was made. Instead of the usual formalities exchanged between civilized worlds, the humans sent a single chilling message: die. The message baffled the Empire's officials. It was unprecedented. No species had ever greeted the Empire with hostility without a prior history of conflicts. The Great Council convened an emergency session to discuss the potential threat. The hall was a grand amphitheater, where representatives of the Empire's member species, each with their own unique form and cultural backgrounds, gathered to deliberate the human enigma. Grand Archon Trelvix, the venerable leader of the council, raised his voice, silencing the murmurs that filled the massive chamber. Esteemed members of the council, we stand before a dilemma that tests the very principles upon which our empire was built. We have received a direct threat from a species that we know very little about, this human race. We must decide our course of action. Is it a declaration of war or a mere misunderstanding? The representative of the Zeltrons, a species known for their empathic abilities, spoke next. Honorable Archon, my people sense great fear and confusion emanating from the human collective consciousness. It is possible that their message is not an act of aggression, but one of defense. They are perhaps more afraid of us than we are of them. Contrarily, General Varkas of the militaristic Skarn species, clad in his ornate battle armor, disagreed vehemently. Fear or not, their message was clear. Die implies a threat, and we should meet it with swift and decisive action. A preemptive strike might be necessary to demonstrate our strength and resolve. The debate raged on, with each species contributing their perspective. The Allurans, known for their wisdom and longevity, suggested a diplomatic approach. We should attempt to communicate further with the humans. Understanding their motives and the context of their message could lead to a peaceful resolution. Meanwhile, the Empire's scouts were tasked with gathering more intelligence about Earth and its inhabitants. What they found was surprising. Despite their primitive appearance, humans had advanced rapidly in technology. They had already mastered space travel to some extent and had a variety of weapons at their disposal. Moreover, their planet was teeming with resources, untouched by the heavy hand of interstellar industrialization. As the Great Council debated, the human message was analyzed by the Empire's best linguists and cryptologists. The possibility that something was lost in translation couldn't be ignored. However, all analyses confirmed the simplicity and clarity of the message. There was no ambiguity in die. By the end of the first council session, a decision was made. The Empire would send a diplomatic envoy to Earth. Their mission was to ascertain the humans' intentions and, if possible, to forge a path towards peace. The envoy was comprised of representatives from several pacifist species, along with a small contingent of defense forces, just in case. As the envoy's ship prepared for departure, the entire galaxy watched with bated breath. The outcome of this mission would not only determine the future of human-empire relations, but could very well reshape the power dynamics of the entire known universe. The story of the Galactic Empire and the humans was about to take an unforeseen turn, one that could end in peaceful integration or devastating war. The universe, in its infinite expanse, waited for the next move. As the envoy's ship sliced through the velvety darkness of space, the crew inside worked tirelessly to prepare for the first official contact with humanity. The ship, a sleek vessel equipped with the latest in diplomatic and defensive technologies, was a beacon of the Empire's commitment to peaceful exploration. Its design reflected a blend of the architectural aesthetics of several species, symbolizing unity and cooperation. On board, Ambassador Yalrin, a member of the serene and scholarly Iliad species, reviewed the mission briefs. His features, characterized by translucent skin and luminescent veins, radiated a soft glow under the ship's ambient lighting. Beside him, Security Chief Rakor, a robust and scarred veteran of the Tundran military forces, inspected the security protocols. Rakor's species was known for their tactical prowess, and his presence was a reassurance that all possible outcomes were accounted for. The ship approached Earth at a cautious speed, broadcasting universal peace symbols and greetings in multiple languages, including what the Empire's linguists had deciphered as the predominant Earth languages. The response from Earth was prompt, but not as expected. Instead of a direct communication link, the humans sent a barrage of signals in various formats, from radio waves to complex quantum transmissions, creating a cacophony of voices and data that needed deciphering. "We are being flooded with information," noted comms officer Liren, her eyes flicking across screens filled with data. "It seems disorganized, but there might be a pattern. I need more time to isolate the relevant communications from the noise." As Liren and her team worked, the human media had somehow detected their arrival, and images of their ship began circulating on Earth's internet, drawing worldwide attention. Earth's government seemed to scramble, their responses fractured and varied, indicating a lack of unified command, or perhaps a deliberate tactic to confuse and overwhelm the envoy. Yalrin and Rakor convened a strategy meeting with the rest of the diplomatic team. "We must be cautious but open," Yalrin proposed. "Our approach should reflect our desire for peace, but also our readiness to defend ourselves if necessary." "Agreed," Rakor growled, his deep voice resonating in the chamber. "The array of signals we've received could be a test of our capabilities or a trap. We should prepare for both." The team decided to send a simple, clear message to the most official channels they could identify, stating their peaceful intentions and requesting a direct dialogue with Earth's leaders. The wait for a response was tense, with every member of the envoy aware of the multitude of eyes from across the galaxy watching their every move. Finally, a coherent response came. The humans invited the envoy to land near a major city that served as a central hub for international diplomacy, New York City. The message was accompanied by coordinates and a promise of safety and cooperation. As the ship descended towards the designated landing site, thousands of human vehicles gathered around, and broadcasts were transmitted globally. The moment they touched down, a sea of human faces, filled with curiosity and awe, greeted them. Yalrin stepped out of the ship first, his form shimmering in the sunlight, followed by Rakor and the rest of the team. They were met by a diverse group of Earth's representatives, each wearing the insignia of their respective nations. "Welcome to Earth," said a human, extending a hand towards Yalrin. "I'm Ambassador Clark. We hope this is the beginning of a fruitful dialogue." Yalrin accepted the handshake, a gesture learned from the human broadcasts. "We come in peace and hope for the same," he replied, his voice carrying a calm certainty. As they walked towards the meeting venue, flanked by Earth's representatives and their own security detail, the cameras broadcasting to the universe captured the historic meeting, a testament to the possibility of peace, or the prelude to unforeseen conflicts. Inside the high-security meeting room, a mix of Earth's political leaders and the Galactic Empire's delegates sat across from each other. The room buzzed with the soft hum of translation devices, facilitating communication across the linguistic barriers. Outside, the world's media swarmed, hungry for any snippet of the discussions taking place behind closed doors. Ambassador Clark led the human delegation with a diplomatic poise that betrayed none of the tension that had surely preceded their arrival. "We apologize for the confusion our initial message may have caused," Clark began, addressing the room. "Our history is marked by conflicts, and our first reaction to unknown entities has always been defensive. Die was a miscommunication, an error in translation from one of our less common dialects meant to express caution, not a threat." Yalrin listened intently, his glowing eyes fixating on Clark. The explanation seemed plausible yet convenient. He responded, "Your history is indeed different from ours. The Galactic Empire has thrived on cooperation and peace. It is our hope that despite this rocky beginning, we can find common ground." Rakor, Ever the strategist, observed the human military representatives present. Their postures were rigid, their eyes alert. It was clear they were prepared for all contingencies, a mindset not unlike his own. The discussions progressed to the technological exchanges, cultural integration, and potential threats, both internal and external. Earth presented a unique strategic advantage and resource base for the Galactic Empire, but it also posed a significant risk if its technologies or militant tendencies were not adequately managed. A human scientist, Dr. Lena, took the floor to propose a joint initiative. We have much to learn from each other. For starters, we are particularly interested in your energy conversion technologies, and in exchange, we can offer advancements in artificial intelligence and robotics. The offer caught the attention of the Illuran delegates, who were keen on advancing their understanding of AI systems. A partnership in this area could be mutually beneficial, one Illuran delegate mused aloud. But it must be approached with caution, respecting the ethical boundaries each of our civilizations upholds. As the meeting unfolded, security alerts buzzed discreetly on Rakor's device. Reports from their scouts indicated unusual military movements in several global hotspots on Earth. He whispered to Yalrin, "We should proceed carefully. There is a possibility that not all factions on this planet are in agreement with this dialogue." Acknowledging the warning, Yalrin shifted the conversation towards security and trust-building measures. "Let us consider an exchange of ambassadors and the establishment of a joint security task force to oversee the integration of our technologies and ensure the safety of all parties involved." Clark nodded in agreement. "Transparency will be key to our mutual success. We will need to manage the dissent within our ranks as well." As the meeting adjourned for the day, the delegates filed out, their minds heavy with the day's conversations. Outside, the evening air was brisk, and the city lights began to twinkle under the twilight sky. The media rushed to capture their reactions, but the delegates maintained their composure, revealing nothing. That night, as Yalrin looked out over the human city from his secure location, he pondered the fragile line between peace and conflict. The Empire had stretched its hand out across the stars many times, but Earth, with its chaotic beauty and fraught history, was unlike any challenge they had faced before. As the Earth turned beneath the starlit sky, the Galactic Empire's delegates convened in a secure room within their temporary quarters. The atmosphere was charged with a mix of concern and strategy, as they dissected every piece of information gathered during the negotiations. Yalrin, surrounded by his advisors and fellow delegates, mapped out the nuanced dynamics of Earth's political landscape, which were as diverse and complex as those of any federated planets in the Empire. "Earth is not a monolith," explained Yalrin, his voice steady but laced with caution. "Their nations vie for power amongst themselves, and this internal competition could destabilize any agreements we might reach. We must navigate these waters with care, ensuring we engage with all factions equally." Rakor, examining the latest security feeds, pointed to a cluster of military buildups not far from where their ship was stationed. "There are factions here that see us as invaders, or worse, as a resource to be exploited. We need to establish a robust defense protocol while we're on the surface." Meanwhile, back at the meeting venue, Earth's leaders were engaged in their own intense deliberations. Ambassador Clark, tasked with forging a unified front, faced opposition from various national leaders who mistrusted the aliens' intentions or sought to leverage the situation for their own gain. Each leader had their agenda, whether it was technological acquisition, military enhancement, or economic advantage. In a strategic move, the Empire's delegates decided to invite a group of Earth's leaders aboard their vessel. The objective was clear: to showcase their technological advancements and cultural heritage, fostering trust and awe, and subtly reinforcing the benefits of peaceful cooperation. The day of the visit, Earth's representatives were visibly overwhelmed as they toured the alien spacecraft. The ship's advanced AI systems, capable of near-instantaneous data processing and equipped with learning algorithms far superior to anything on Earth, fascinated the human technologists and scientists. The Empire's art and cultural exhibits, depicting the histories and achievements of various member species, offered a glimpse into a possible future for humanity, integrated and enhanced within a vast community. During a private tour, Yalrin took Ambassador Clark aside. "We recognize the complexities of Earth's governance," he stated, his tone sincere. "But it is imperative that we deal with a unified entity. Can you provide that unity, Ambassador?" Clark, weighing his words carefully, replied, "It's a challenge, but not impossible. With the right incentives, I believe we can present a consolidated front. However, this requires concessions from both sides." As they spoke, an alert chimed softly on Clark's communicator. His face tightened as he excused himself to receive the message. Moments later, he returned, his expression grave. "There's been an incident. One of our military installations has just experienced a significant breach. Preliminary reports suggest it might involve one of the lesser factions not present in our talks." The news struck a chord of urgency. Raker immediately suggested, "We should offer our assistance. It would serve as a goodwill gesture and provide us with real-time insights into the security challenges you face." Clark nodded, accepting the offer. "Let's coordinate a joint response team. Your expertise could indeed turn this crisis into an opportunity for closer collaboration." That evening, as the delegates reflected on the day's events, the Empire's ship buzzed with a rare energy. The potential for a meaningful alliance seemed within reach, but so too did the shadows of conflict. Each step forward was measured, each agreement scrutinized, as both Earth and the Galactic Empire edged towards an uncertain but hopeful future. The collaborative spirit that had tentatively begun to form was put to the test as the joint response team assembled quickly and efficiently. Raker led the galactic contingent, comprised of elite security personnel from various member species, all donned in sleek, functionally designed armor that contrasted sharply with the more rugged and diverse military gear of their human counterparts. The site of the breach was a remote military installation known for its experimental weapons research. As the team approached, the damage became apparent. The facility's external defenses were compromised, not by brute force, but through sophisticated hacking techniques that suggested an inside job or a highly skilled external threat. "This wasn't just a smash and grab," Raker observed, analyzing the breached gate's control panel. His subordinates quickly interfaced their devices with the damaged system, retrieving data and beginning to trace the hack. Whoever did this knew exactly what they were after. Ambassador Clark, accompanying the response team to oversee the collaboration, watched the Empire's team work. "We have our suspicions about who might be responsible," Clark admitted reluctantly. "There are groups within our own ranks not happy with our outreach to the stars. They see your arrival as a threat to our sovereignty, or worse, an invitation to subjugation." The interior of the facility was in disarray. The main lab was ransacked, with vital equipment and data storage units conspicuously missing. Dr. Lena, who had joined the response effort, pointed out the missing projects. These were some of our most advanced AI-driven defense systems. If used improperly, they could be devastating. Yalrin, present to ensure the diplomatic integrity of the mission, suggested, "Let us help you recover these technologies. Our tracking and recovery methods may be more advanced than what your teams are used to." Clark nodded, appreciating the offer but visibly worried about the implications of sharing sensitive data. "I'll need to clear it with our command. This kind of cooperation is unprecedented and I don't want to overstep." As they awaited approval, the team set up a temporary command center outside the compromised facility. The Empire's tech specialists deployed drones and satellites, enhancing the search grid. Meanwhile, Earth's forces provided logistical and local intelligence support, feeding real-time updates into a shared system. Approval came quickly, driven by the urgency of the threat. The collaboration deepened, with data flowing freely between the two groups. Earth's leaders, monitoring the situation from their command posts, saw firsthand the benefits of galactic technology and expertise. The breach investigation led them to a shadowy faction known as the Terra Firma, a radical group that advocated for extreme human sovereignty and opposed any extraterrestrial interactions. Their manifesto, filled with rhetoric about purity and independence, had spiked in circulation on the net, hinting at their involvement. "This group has been a thorn in our side for years," Clark explained as they reviewed the evidence. "But they've never been this bold. We underestimated their reach and desperation." The joint team tracked the stolen tech to a hidden facility in a remote area known for its lawlessness. As they prepared to raid the location, tensions rose. The success of this mission was critical, not just to recover the stolen items, but to solidify the burgeoning trust between Earth and the Galactic Empire. Night had fallen when the teams approached the hideout. The air was tense with anticipation and the weight of what this mission represented. Above, stars twinkled, indifferent to the struggles on the surface, a canvas of calm against the storm brewing below. The raid on the terra firma hideout commenced under the cloak of darkness, an orchestrated strike that combined the tactical acumen of Earth's special forces with the advanced technology of the Galactic Empire. The teams moved with precision, their movements almost silent but deadly efficient. Raykor coordinated the strike, his commands concise, syncing perfectly with the human commander. As they breached the perimeter, security systems that were anticipated did not activate. The hack had been that thorough. Inside, they found the facility minimally guarded, suggesting that terra firma had not expected such a swift counter-operation. The element of surprise was total, and within minutes, the team had secured the facility, recovering the stolen technology and taking several key members of the radical group into custody. In the aftermath, Yalrin and Clark stood side by side, overseeing the transfer of recovered items back to the secure military transport. "Your help has been invaluable," Clark said, his voice filled with a mix of relief and newfound respect. "This could have escalated into a significant threat not just to us, but potentially to others as well." Yalrin nodded, his face illuminated by the soft glow of the transport's interior light. "It is the duty of the Galactic Empire to foster peace and security, not just among our own, but with all who wish to join us in harmony. Today was a testament to what we can achieve together." The implications of the raid were far-reaching. News of the successful joint operation spread rapidly, both on Earth and across the Empire's channels. It served as a powerful narrative to counter the fears and suspicions about the alliance. Public opinion began to shift, with many seeing the benefits of such a partnership in maintaining global and, potentially, galactic peace. In the following weeks, formal agreements were drafted, establishing the first Earth Galactic Liaison Office in New York City, with branches soon to follow in other major capitals around the world. The agreements included clauses for technology sharing, cultural exchanges, and mutual defense protocols. As these developments unfolded, a quieter yet no less significant exchange occurred. Dr. Lena and her team worked closely with alien scientists, combining their expertise to enhance Earth's defense systems with alien technology, ensuring that such breaches would be much harder to accomplish in the future. Meanwhile, the political landscape on Earth underwent subtle shifts. The exposure to galactic politics and the presence of alien diplomats accelerated Earth's own unification processes. Old rivalries began to diminish as a new, unified Earth government started to take shape, inspired by the models of cooperation demonstrated by the Galactic Empire. As Earth became a more integrated and active member of the galactic community, Yalrin watched from the command deck of his ship, now orbiting the planet. "See how much we can achieve when we look past our differences and focus on our common goals?" he mused to Raykor, who nodded in agreement. Raykor glanced at the blue-green orb below, a small smile playing on his lips. "Today, Earth. Tomorrow, who knows? The galaxy is full of possibilities." The partnership between Earth and the Galactic Empire had begun as a wary dance of diplomats and soldiers, fraught with potential missteps. Yet, it had blossomed into a powerful alliance, setting a new course for Earth's destiny among the stars, a testament to the power of diplomacy and the enduring quest for peace.